Why, you get kind of nervous?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh.
How nervous you get?
No, we're live. Don't fall for
That's
it.
why when you told me that, I'm like, oh, my God.
You know you're the first person, right?
Yep.
I'm good. Just glitch out.
Are you ready?
Really? You're so mean.
I know. All right, guys, welcome to Haunters Hangout. This is season 7, episode 3, and we have and we have Hugh over there. He's our got an exciting panel today, and definitely we're sorry that that the format this year is a little different than last. Usually you can watch the whole thing streaming live from our Facebook group, but it wouldn't let us do it this year, so you have to go to YouTube and then do a split screen and ask the questions on Facebook. So we are sorry about that, and I'm going to hand it over to Phil. He's our MC today, and we're going to get started. Oh, and yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to pass it over to Jamie
because I'm ready.
To talk about some prizes that we're going to give away tonight.
Oh, yeah, we got to do that too.
Yeah. Since everybody's all nervous, I'll just take it over.
Yeah.
We're giving Darren a second to breathe.
Okay, Darren. Look, we all mess up.
All right. Well, we have a ton of great prizes tonight, and there were some questions earlier on Facebook. So for people who are new, every question that you ask that's a real question enters you at a chance to win one of these prizes. Even if we don't ask it live on the show, if you ask it on Facebook, you're entered to win. So we have amazing prizes tonight, and the first one is this mask from Face Factory FX. Woo! Next, from Fright Props, we have a Fright Light Pro, which is a portable face illuminator. Woo! Sinful Audio is giving to one lucky winner 1 free SFX library, 25% off of original sound design, and 10% off of amps or speakers. Okay, Ornaments is giving away a Chulu ornament, which I'm hoping I said right. No, how do you say that? Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, yeah.
Cthulhu. I actually YouTubed it to see how to say it, and I still said it wrong. But at least I didn't mess up the ornament's name this time, so we're golden.
We're good.
All right, Fright Props is giving away 1 gallon of fog. No, Froggy's fog. Froggy's fog is giving away 1 gallon of fog. Fog.
All
right, those of you who are nervous can just relax because after this, you're golden. I'm screwing up on purpose. Yeah. Okay. Someone is getting 7 awesome badges from Haunt Badges that you can award to your actors.
Scary badges.
Sam Haynes is giving 50% off to everyone watching tonight using code Haunters.
Nice.
Nightmare Makers is giving away 1 of 3 realistic looking skulls.
No.
XFX Makeup is giving away a $25 gift card. Exotic Lenses is giving away 1 free non-prescription normal size pair of lenses of your choice.
Is there more? Oh my God, is there more prizes?
They keep on coming. Missing Finger Productions is giving away this amazing mask that you see. Haunt Labs is giving away not 1, but 4 Haunters Hangout coasters and $10 off of a purchase. And last but certainly not least, Hotwire Foam Factory is giving away a $25 gift card.
Yeah. People.
All right. And since I have completely killed that, someone else go.
All right.
Go
Well,
ahead, Phil, man, let's see if we can mess this up some more.
I know. I promise you, I definitely will do that. So don't worry. So we're gonna pass over to our first guest of the night, Darren from. I'm gonna guess this Haydenville Haunter, right? Is that right?
Hayden.
Oh, Jesus, see, I'm already on a roll. But Darren, why don't you give us a little bit of your background in haunting and where you're from?
Darren, I'm Haydenville Haunter. I'm from Reno Valley, California, in Southern California. The weather's pretty nice right now. Sorry, everybody.
Oh shit, Darren's mic went out, guys.
Yeah.
Hear him?
Yeah.
Mute him.
No,
Is it out?
no, I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
Come on, okay?
Never tell him you're nervous before you know.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I started out doing stuff for the C Word. I do Tim Burton's Nightmare Before C Word. And I learned to build props that way and learned from Scott Stoll, basically from him, how to do paper mache stuff. You see these guys here. And
Oh, nice.
I started doing that, and then I went to doing Halloween as Nightmare and then transitioning to Christmas. And you have that whole month of nothing. So my props are sitting outside. I don't want to tear it all down, and they're getting weathered, and I decided to stop doing that. So I decided to do scary Halloween stuff, and that was 3 years ago. So I started making some tombstones and skeletons and stuff like that. I did a little graveyard scene, and it was fun. And then started watching some more YouTube videos on haunters and came across Chris and Gina at Hollywood Haunter and was watching their Grave Rock Gulch and saw their, the mine shaft. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I'm going to do a mine shaft this year. And I started building that. And what am I going to call it? And my daughter's name's Hayden. So Haydenville, that sounds pretty cool.
Nice.
So I dropped that in. Haydenville Haunter, or Haydenville Haunted Copper Mine is what it was going to be. And then I was like, well, I have this mine shaft and some gravestones. Let's build the whole town. And so with, inspiration from them, I built this full facade, and my house disappeared, and my neighbor said, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And especially my wife said, what are you doing?
All right, them damn Hollywood Haunters.
Yeah, how do we go in the front door and go through the garage? You'll be fine. We did that, and I had a really big turnout. It was really cool, and just word of mouth of people driving by and seeing what I was doing, setting up. We had a lot more trick-or-treaters this year because it was kind of dying out. That you get a couple kids, and I'm like, I have all this candy left over. What the heck, man? Like,
Well, you never want that.
Yes.
Shane Boswell would like to know, how long does it take to set up your haunt each year? And does anybody help?
This in 2018 was the first time I did what I did. So I was building as I went. So I didn't have walls ready to just set up. Took me a little over a month to do. Building as I went because I didn't know what I was going to do. So it was just, I'd build a wall and set it up and then start adding old fence boards that I found from people tearing down fences and stuff like that.
You built your own haunt in a month?
Yeah.
Damn, that's impressive. Dude, that's impressive. That's impressive. Holy shit.
Thank you. So,
Julian Griffin wants to know, do you build most of your props or buy?
I try to build everything. Anything you see in the pictures we're going to show and stuff is the only thing store-bought are skeletons, because I don't want to try to make a mold and build skeletons. I'd rather just buy them. It's faster. So everything else is handmade. Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice.
Awesome. Very good. All right, so we'll move over to Therese and Hugh of Rutherford Manor.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
We've been. Give you a little. We're located in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So very cold. freezing right now. A little jealous of Darren, actually.
Sorry.
Yeah. You and I have been haunting. I guess we started in 2009, 10 with a yard display and cemetery and that kind of thing. Eventually, it morphed into a walkthrough haunt. Very small, just our garage, in about 2012, 2013. And it's grown a lot every year since then, and it's a great deal of work, and we do it for charity, and it's just sort of word of mouth. We don't really advertise social media, and that's about it. And we make, like Darren, almost everything ourselves. We're practical. I'm not going to make a skeleton, just too time consuming. It's more expensive.
We can find them in the spring, though.
Yeah, we find them in the spring, but sometimes in the fall when we go hunting. But we do try to make everything ourselves, all our own sets. They're all like solid walls. We distress everything ourselves. It's a lot of work.
The very first question of the night was from Chandra Horde. She asks, how do you deal with the Canadian winters?
Well, so far we've been very, very fortunate.
Very fortunate.
Knock on wood. They typically doesn't snow till November 1st.
So you were able to get through Halloween without any snow?
No.
It rained hard.
And it snowed a couple of times in October and once in September.
It did impact the build because it was nasty. But
Halloween was beautiful for us.
Halloween days are typically not bad.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, we can have snow a couple of times prior to Halloween for sure. So you have to always build with that in mind.
But it's still around freezing.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold as hell.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll move over to our third guests of the night. We have Laurence and Shaune of Shadows Gate Haunt. Why don't you guys give us a little background in your haunting experience?
My name's Laurence. I started haunting, like big haunting, about 4 years ago when I ran across a video on YouTube of Haunted Wastelands. So I contacted Jason, and he gave me a good kick in the ass with some props to start off with, and everything just went rolling from there. It's pretty good.
Nice. How long you been doing it for?
About 4 years. And the first year, we didn't really do too much. Just wanted to see if we could actually get a walkthrough going.
Nice. And where are you guys located again?
We're in Leduc. It's just we're about 10 minutes away from Therese and Hugh.
Oh, okay.
We're just outside of Edmonton.
Nice.
Oh, you gotta have a lot of respect for people that do haunts in the cold.
We're lunatic.
There's not much else to do, though.
Julian Griffin would like to know what made you want to start haunting.
I don't know. I just always liked Halloween. I was just always really drawn to it as a kid. You know, like I like Sleepy Hollow and like traditional stuff. I like. Yeah.
Shaune,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, I met Laurence just before Halloween 2017, and he was going on about how busy he was doing this haunt, and so all I did was I got to come check this out and see what's going on. So I show up one weekend while he's setting up, and he's got this big pallet room set up in his backyard, walls built, and he gives me these 12 crates and says, "Go ahead and decorate. This is going to be a witch's house." So I just started opening crates and just started. This is crazy, and just started decorating. I spent 2 full days and just totally, pimped this whole room up. And Laurence was just blown away that my details were where he wanted to be in his standards. And I kind of just thought that was pretty cool. So then in 2018, I helped him pretty much all year plan and build props. And to get 2018 going, I was fully involved. And yeah, it was just a blast. A lot of work and a lot of cold fingers, but yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and I loved just being creative with making the props and stuff. It was just a blast.
And I knew he was the right guy because in 2017, he came to me and he's like, "Hey man, did you authorize that prop being moved to the other room?" We did a market 2 years ago. We did a market, so they took one book, a spell book from the Witch Shack, and took it to the market. One of the actors did. So he didn't like that too much. So I was like, yeah. I got the right guy for sure.
And it's very rare for someone to come in and like do something without you critiquing the whole thing. You're like, no, man, that's not what I'm envisioning. So
it was really good.
From the first hour, he was like, "You got this. Just go for it. I'll talk to you in 3 hours. I got 5 other props or facades to put up."
Yeah. It worked out really good. Yeah. It's good to have help because for the first 3 years I was all alone and I questioned my madness in taking on that by myself for sure.
Right.
You guys are like a hot couple over there. Jeez.
I was gonna say,
He keeps trying to touch me, but I just pull away.
Sure? I think you're still sharing a headphone or a headset.
All right. We'll move over to our last guest of the night, but certainly not least. But Cara, why don't you give us a little background into haunting? You're from Poppy Hollow, right? Cara Walker Designs?
Yeah. So someone in the Haunters Hangout came up with that name for me, and I really liked it. And I'm kind of embarrassed. It's so simple, but yet I couldn't come up with that on my own. So thank you. But I'm a professional artist, so I've already, been doing art and this kind of stuff since I was 19 years old. And just within the last 2 years, I discovered putting those artistic skills into the Halloween scene just for my own personal use. And it's just kind of growing, and I just love it.
Awesome. And do you do a big yard display?
I do. Yeah. This year was my biggest display. I built a 24-foot tall foam and wood facade that didn't get finished in time for Halloween, but it still looked cool. Thanks to the darkness of night and the right lighting, it still looked good. So everyone was really happy.
Hey, Jenny Gilroy would like to know, where did you get your art education and how many years have you been haunting?
Okay, Halloween, only about 2 years. What was the question again?
Where did you get your art education? Where did you get your
mostly self-taught. I
really?
started painting when I was 16, and then I've been self-employed for my painting since I was 19.
Wow.
Okay. That's awesome. All right. Well, we'll go back over to the top of the list here, and we'll start showing some pictures. So, Darren, let's get some pictures up here. You want to describe what's going on in this picture here? Looks like a little tribute.
That is the start of the town of Haydenville. Right there at the front is the ticket booth, and that's where I started and built that and added as I went. All the siding you're seeing on there is an old fence that I was driving home one day going, man, I need some old fence boards to do some siding, and saw a guy who was tearing down his fence and pulled over and said, I'll take all that for you. And he's like, what? Yeah, I want your old wood. He couldn't believe it. So I scored on that.
It's pretty killer.
Old wood? Huh?
Old wood, yes, please.
Julian Griffin would like to know, how long did it take for a single scene to build for you?
For what? I'm sorry?
How long did it take for you to build a single scene? What the scene that we're looking at?
It kind of varied. Building the flats and the walls, that was pretty fast, but it was sitting back and deciding how I wanted it to look and adding the exterior to the walls. Like I said, the whole thing took a month and a half to do. So.
Oh, that long? Wow.
Yeah. The whole entire thing.
Sean Boswell wants to know, how do you come up with your haunts theme every year?
This theme was inspired by Hollywood Haunter, and this is the first year I've done it.
Awesome.
Do you plan on using it again, or?
I'm gonna do next year. I am gonna use this, but it's gonna get changed up. The saloon you're seeing right now, the Broken Spoke Saloon, you're gonna go inside, and it'll be a walkthrough, and we'll have some scare actors in there. So I'm gonna switch it up, but I'm still gonna use this theme for this year.
It looks like you can walk through it right there.
You can go inside there, but it's pretty close to the house. I kept everybody in a walkway. They actually didn't get to go inside the buildings other than the jail. You could walk in there.
Yeah. Darren, are those turnstiles or whatever, is that part of the queue line lineup?
No, they started out in the driveway and just kind of walked through the yard there. The walkway to the saloon has that railing, so you weren't inside there.
In between these
You were on the outside, yeah. In between there.
You could use that for queue line.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you can pay me $20 for that idea.
Right. Oh, and back to that other picture, the Sophie's Soda Shop. That's my other daughter, and she got upset that I named it Haydenville after Hayden. So that was going to be a general store, and we decided to call it Sophie's Soda Shop, and so she had her name out there too. So
nice. There you go.
Linda Marshall would like to know, how big is your yard to hold all of these facades?
Oh, it's about 67 feet deep and maybe 30 feet wide.
What's that in metric?
So we understand. You know.
How long does it take to walk through?
However long you wanted to spin in there. I didn't have a time limit on it. If you just wanted to hang out and check it out, you could, because we didn't have such a big crowd to where it was, all right, you go in and hurry up and get out because I got other people wanting to go in. Because it was pretty wide open to just have a crowd in there.
Did you have photo ops?
No, I did not.
This could be a perfect photo up here in this picture.
That's another $20, please.
Exactly.
You know, what's nice too is your neighbor has some pretty nice golf carts back here for a camper.
Right.
You might want to reach out to them.
Yep. That there was the that was the mine shaft that it all started out to be. The two big Reaper guys, I had built them the year prior and utilized them there with that. Inside the mine shaft is I did a screen with a projection inside the mine. It looked like you were the tracks for the mining cart. It looked like it went inside a mine shaft, and then I, with the Outmost effects, had a ghost overlaid with inside a mine shaft. So it looked like you were looking inside, and there was a ghost kind of flying around, and he was the part of the backstory on the Haydenville. He was killing people in the mine shaft.
Question from Bob Kowal: are you using any kind of sound? Fog?
Yes, there is fog. Fog's coming out of a cauldron from one of those big Reaper guys, and out in the front out of a chiller to try to hold it down on the ground. Sound I had behind it was just a ambiance, crickets, and sounded like you were outside. This next year, I'm going to go ahead and do like a lightning effect in the trees with that. So.
Oh, that'll be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of my ideas are met with crickets.
Yep.
If that's the case, was this one of those ideas?
Nice.
Gotcha.
That's the market. Market?
Yeah.
So that's one of our, well, I guess that's my character. It wasn't actually me playing it. We sometimes have doppelgangers, but yeah, we did a lot of new, well, basically we changed every frickin' room this year. So that was the market, and good lighting.
Yeah.
There's a question about the lighting from Pandora Rose. She wants to know, over the years, has your lighting strategy changed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And a lot of thanks to her. Well.
Yeah.
Really?
How's
that?
Oh, I've with the silhouettes when we did the front yard, I loved hers, and I've gone back and forth on a forum to get assistance from her on lighting and ideas and stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
She has beautiful eye for lighting.
She sure does.
Yeah, absolutely. So this room had. Yeah.
Oh, there's the alley.
Yeah, that's the alley. Yeah.
So we did a Victorian theme, kind of a Victorian alley, and we had a lot of sound and
smells
and
how tall is this room?
lighting. And,
I know. I was just looking at it, like, wow, that's really tall.
yeah, it was a two-story. We had people up on the second story yelling down at you and being very nasty. And
Pat Malloy would like to know, how long does it take to detail a room?
Oh, it takes.
Well, we do a lot of pre-build and detailing. So then once you set it up, then you do the final detailing. But
it took, like, distressing the brick walls took weeks. We did that most of the summer. To distress the market or set up the market with the detail and all the props, probably a couple of days.
Debbie Smith-Ray would like to know, where do you get your props?
We make most of them ourselves. We try to make everything ourselves. Yeah. And, you know, of course, we go to Goodwill, to Value Village, anything like that. We have people drop stuff off.
And the conventions. We frequent those.
Yeah.
Is this a character in this photo, or is this a prop itself?
That's a character.
Okay. I hope you looked up those hymns, because
they are real hymns
off the top of my head, and I totally forgot, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
How Great Thou Art, and the SpongeBob theme, I think.
SpongeBob. No, they're real hymns. But she did all her own makeup as well. That girl, her name is Claire. She did a great job.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, she was creepy.
And in the same room.
This is a different room. This was the entrance the last few years, but last season, 2018, this is the exit, the last room. And
we did reverse flow.
We did a reverse flow this year. It's just safer for our people, all the people going through. And this is one of the twins. We have Lisa and Louise, and this is Lisa. Yeah.
Julian Griffin would like to know, what type of music do you play through the haunt?
Every room has its own
track.
Every room.
Yeah.
Sound, background sound effects, music, whatever.
Yeah.
Do you guys have issues with the sound bleeding in from other rooms, or?
No, not
a whole lot.
Typically, no.
And you know, people don't notice.
They don't notice.
We might notice it, but when you're going, they don't notice. They're living in the moment, right? So, we don't really have much of that, and we've been really lucky with Preston, one of the people we partner with for a long time. He spends hours doing the sound and developing the sound for each set.
It's very layered. If you listen to look at the video, every sound you hear is actually what's going on in each room.
Yeah, that was taken right from
That's the ambient sound.
The ambient sound from that room.
Nice. What's going on in this photo here? Is this an animatronic, or is this?
That's an actor.
It's an actor. We have fantastic actors. This is in the graveyard scene.
And that's Munat, and she just really looks like stone. And she'll just when you're going by, she moves suddenly and she'll just get you. She had a lot of great scares.
That's awesome.
That's a tough one to do, because it's outside, and you got to be crouching the whole time. So she's
cold.
Kudos to her physically. Like, that's a challenge. That one's hard.
So is your haunt mostly actor driven, or do you guys have some animatronics in there?
We have animatronics, but it's mainly actor driven. My background is instrumentation, so we have
some
access to so much on the animatronic, pneumatic side and hydraulic side. But we found that when you can put two actors in a room and have them cue off of each other, that's far better than any animatronic you can put in there.
Right.
Yeah. And in small space, we'll use animatronic or something for distraction, and then have the actor. But it's predominantly actor driven.
Right. I think we need to get with Scare Badges and have them do like best scare actor in the cold.
Scary snowman.
Daryl
Krampus.
Daryl will be expecting that.
Yeah, he'll want $20 for that.
Yeah, I want $10 for that too, Daryl.
Yeah, who can sit out in the cold all night? That's a badge right there.
Oh, for sure. I can't believe she did that. Hours. Yeah.
Well, Chris Stone would like to know, how long does it take to walk through your haunt?
About, depending on
I know.
frame of mind, anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Well,
All
hey,
right.
let me interrupt for just a second.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm seeing people post that people are asking questions on the YouTube page itself. If you want your questions to be asked tonight, and if you want to get in on the prizes, we need you to go over to Facebook and find the link over there and post all your questions over there.
Yeah, do a split screen.
Okay, I'm sorry, Phil. Continue.
Oh, it's okay. All right. So we'll go over to your neighbors over there, Laurence and Shaune. So we'll start showing some pictures of you, what you guys got. Why don't you start talking? Yeah, you guys are there. Okay. Yeah. Why don't
That's
you guys talk a little
my
bit
wife. That's my wife.
She's had better days.
Yeah, she looks like that when we roll over in the middle of the night too.
I think she's got a little bit of problem. That's
Oh, oh.
She's that she's upstairs.
Yeah.
Careful, she's watching.
Yeah. She's been our main character for 4 years. She plays the Corn Witch. Her name's Morganta. And everybody likes her. They come back to see her all the time, and they're happy when they see that she's involved again.
Shane Bowser would like to know, do you act in the haunt too? Or is it just her?
Well, just her. Actually, my whole family is the twins, my daughter, my son. He played 2 characters this year. Sean's son was a scarecrow, but we just kind of stay behind the scenes and fix lights and fill fog machines and make sure nobody's falling. And
Nice.
so we're checking basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone's got to watch over everybody, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, Shaune, you want to talk about that?
So yeah, this is some props I built in my garage. Got a whole bunch of fence boards for free, and just started building shelves. And then all of a sudden, we were talking about we need a facade for the market, and I said, well, why don't we start stacking all these shelves? So basically, we started from there, just building a series of shelves that all interlock, kind of like Tetris. All of this beat up fence boards, and we built this whole wall of these shelves, and yeah, like I said, Laurence has got like crate after crate of jars and props, and again, just the fun begins. You start decorating and just all the details, making sure everything looks good. There's a few in there that I actually built this year, some of the jars and stuff. I really like the creative stuff, and yeah, every nook and cranny in that thing was just filled. It looks so good, just packed. So
and this year we had the full wall there, so we realized that was maybe a bit of a safety issue. So if you see on the right-hand side, we made just a little trap door there. Not a trap door, but a quick release.
I was going to ask if that people walk through there, but
yeah, that's not for everybody. That's
not
like
for the haunt.
If the kids come in, yeah, if kids come in and my wife scares them too bad, then they can cheap out that way and go get their candy.
All right. But you guys did a really good job. You guys are like a haunt couple.
yeah. They're selling it.
Nice.
I just want to throw one quick thing out. Look, birdhouses. So those are the people who are watching from Haunt Chat. So,
Right.
holy cow, this wall is huge.
yeah, there's
Is
the
this
full
thing
wall.
Yeah, that's the full wall. And when you first
Wow.
come into the mercantile,
And then the door that you guys cut out, where is that? Because I can't even see.
it's just on the far right, just beyond those.
Yeah, it's not in this.
Oh,
picture.
it's not in it? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
The
Just
wall.
from
The
the
wall
angle.
continues a little bit to the right.
Jordan Gallows would like to know, how long does it take you to finish a room like this?
We worked on this one from structure to actually decorating it all. Yeah, we were in there for a couple of weeks for sure.
Well, and it not including the month it took to build all the shelves and make sure they all fit together. And
Yeah, I guess we're no Darren, that's for sure.
Yeah.
like May, June,
Yeah.
building.
Nigga's like a month.
I have construction background. I a month.
And this right here, this was off of the graveyard into. We had a little village we built of like lost kids, like back in the day when parents couldn't afford to feed their kids, whatever. They'd end up here. Some of them the kids were supposed to be turned werewolves or whatever, and it was a creepy little village. And the sound effects were kids laughing, and we had kids in there for a little bit, but most of them wanted to go in. They were cold, so we moved the scarecrow through there the next day.
Yeah,
I love the art.
awesome.
Oh yeah, I love the archway. What is that? Just cloth hanging down that you monster mudded?
That was carved by Grant.
Wow.
And he gave us that 2 years ago. So that's just burlap hanging on the side there.
Grant McDonald.
Yeah, Grant McDonald.
Oh, nice.
Sean Basil would like to know, how do you determine what type of lighting to use in each scene?
I try to just layer colors and colors that go good together. Like here we had purple and red. That's one of the shacks that we built where the kids live there. We had a lot of like large sunflowers and corn in there you had to walk through. There was a campfire set up there. Inside all the houses, we had purple there.
Debbie Wright wants to know, do you have a professional photographer?
Yes, we do. She came through, Heather Fryer, and she's from Visions of Heaven. So she came through and took a bunch of pictures for us.
Man, lucky, man.
Yeah, we're lucky to have her for sure.
Hunt couple and photographers.
Right.
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Right. Go back to Cara. So Cara, we'll show a couple pictures of what you've been up to.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that was my reconstruction of the Nightmare Before Christmas fence, the gate. So that's all like melted PVC pipe to make the gate part, and then the stone is all just carved foam.
What's the lantern made of? Is that real?
No, those are real exterior lights I got from like Osh, and then I put a copper patina on them. So everything's hardwired.
Christopher Press would like to know, what's your favorite tool for carving foam?
I would say the industrial knife from Hotwire Foam Factory. Yeah. It's more sturdy and you can really get in there. And if not a Hotwire tool, a Sawzall does wonders.
Sponsor, Shaune.
Yeah,
that's right.
Mess.
Linda Marshall has a question. What tips do you have for the first-time foam carver?
Oh man, tips.
Tough question. Sorry.
Gosh, that's hard. I don't know.
Sorry.
Like, you just got to get in there and just try it out and see how your tools work and just experiment with it, because you really just don't know what it's going to do until you just try something.
Is this made out of foam that we're looking at?
Oh yes, that is a tombstone that Gleason Kent. That's actually my grandfather that taught me to paint. So I thought it's like an ode to my grandfather, that if he could see me now, you know, that I've turned his artwork professional. So, you know, it's like a tribute to him.
I gotta ask, how did you do the barnacle on there?
It's actually epoxy sculpt, so it's a 2-part epoxy clay, and then I just kind of just stick it on there and start sculpting it into the shape.
Charles Weston wants to know, where do you get your foam?
My foam, it's really just Home Depot, the 4x8 sheets of insulation foam, and I just glue them all together.
Is that a real anchor?
I carved that all out of foam. Everything's out of foam except for the chain was plastic that I got at Michael's, and then just adhered it. Yeah. And then that photo, okay, so Diver Dan, that was my first tombstone I ever made, and that was like a year, not this last Halloween, but the year before that. And
that's
then
your first tombstone?
oh, this is
I know that makes me sick that you just said that.
He was my first. And then he's hardwired, so the mask lights up, so you can see there's a skeleton inside of the diver mask. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I was like addicted. And I had no hot wire tools when I made that. And so that was like, that was tough, but it worked out. And then I was like, oh, okay, he needs a girlfriend. So then I switched over. And I'm like, I need something mermaid, but not like a legit mermaid. I need something like inspired. So I came up with that design where I had the mermaid scales and added the tail. And then after that is when Hotwire Foam Factory, I looked them up online. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like 20 minutes away from my house. This is insane. So I drove over there and then showed them what I can do. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, have you used our stuff? I'm like, no, I don't have anything. And they just like threw all of this stuff at me. And I was like, oh, awesome. And so then I went home, and then that's when I went to the next level. Once I discovered the professional tools and the hard coatings is what really just set me off.
Christine Campbell would like to know, how do you keep the foam from blowing away? Like your tombstones, I mean.
Well, I the bottom of it has like a 3/4 plywood to add some weight, and then I drill a hole through into it about 1 foot, and then I put rebar into the grass, and then slide it over the top, and then it doesn't fall over or blow.
Great.
Now, is this also made out of foam too? This prop?
That is like an exterior light that I just got from Home Depot, and then I put like a foam skull over the top, and then it's coated in poly gem. It's called Easy Carve, and then I just started messing with it. At first I thought it was going to be a pirate, and then it ended up as being Frankenstein.
Awesome.
Very cool. Very cool.
And is this your new facade that you did this year?
Yes, that is me in the process of putting it up. That's the very first day we got that roof cap up. So that's 24 feet tall. And that was like right after we popped it up there, and it just slipped on the top like a little hat box, like a glove. And I was so happy. And I ran across the street just to look at it. And I just like, my life was complete.
That's awesome.
Didn't you post that took a hit with some weather?
Yeah, we had a storm a couple weeks ago, and I have it in like a 10 by 20 foot carport, but the wind was so strong that it like threw some like wood up against it, and it shoved one of the dormer windows like in, but luckily it cracked everywhere on like seam lines, so I can totally fix it. But it's just so sad to see like your hard work get crushed and then know that you've got to spend like hours to fix it. At least it's fixable.
How long did it take you to make that top piece?
To make what part? Sorry.
The roof peak there.
The roof cap.
Yeah, the cap.
Oh gosh, it was a process because I didn't know what I was doing at all. So I just started with, I try to keep it as lightweight as possible. So the whole thing is solid foam, except for one square of like a 2x4 going around the bottom that slid over the top. So I had something to screw into the walls to connect everything. But it's solid foam, so I could pick up the whole thing myself. But it's awkward. So 2 people. We could lift it up onto the roof of our house and pop it on there. But as far as time, it was really more time spent standing back and looking at it, trying to figure out what I was going to do. Because I'm not an architect. I'm not a builder. So I just stood there and I'm like, okay, well, first I need to glue strips together. So I just started one step, and then I'd analyze it. Go, okay, the next part would be this. So I would say if I had to do it again, I could probably get it done in a couple days now that I know what I'm doing.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I kind of do like the same thing, but it's more like I had too much to drink and I forget what I was doing.
It's always just trying to figure out how to do it. Takes the longest part. And then once you've done it, you can bang it out again super quick.
Very awesome. Amazing work, Cara. We'll come back to you in a little bit here.
Okay.
So Darren, we'll move back to you. We have more pictures of your haunt here.
What's the drink?
This skeleton right here on your left is the guy behind me here. I did that in like taking a paper mache method, but using the paper that painters use, big roll of paper, and they use a masking machine. And his ribs, I would just twist them up, dip it in the stuff, and hang it around. It was really easy build and came out pretty awesome. And I just coated in like a polyurethane, and it's good for the weather. All my tombstones is it's 3.5 to 4 inch foam that I get for free, and I'm gonna give away my secret. Go to your local spa jacuzzi dealers, and the tops, the lids, they're that thick of foam, and they throw them away. People, they have old ones, and they throw them away. So you get them for free.
I got 3 in town. I'm going tomorrow. Thanks, man.
That's a great tip.
Lots of free foam.
Your lighting is just beautiful.
Thank you. That's when I got it all set up, that was the most time is lighting to me, because I sit there and I'll put a light out and a certain color and I step back. No, I don't like it. And I'll spend more time doing that than actually building the stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
That there, we had I collected canned food for the VFW and our local veterans here in Reno Valley, and got all that food donated to them and it helped out with Thanksgiving for everybody to eat.
Shaune Boswell would like to know, how many days is your hunt open, or is it just open Halloween night? No.
I did. It was Friday and Saturday, the week before Halloween, and then I did Halloween. I would like to be open every weekend of October. I just got to start earlier and set it up. That's that guy there, just in a pallet with a red light and a fog machine.
No, I think I saw in the previous photo. Did you use a fog chiller for the fog in this?
Yes, yes. That trash can next to it was a fog chiller.
Nice.
Go.
It helped it. It kind of bellowed out of that pallet and stayed low and ran through the way the wind blows at my house. It ran through the graveyard there.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Julian Griffin would like to know, how many people help you with the build?
Nobody.
Just you, huh?
Yeah, I did it all myself. I have people ask me to help, and
they just don't do it right.
They help it. Yeah, exactly.
I told you.
I'm like, what are you doing? No. Yeah, I do it myself.
I told you. Just like Laurence, he found his perfect couple mate. He's like,
yeah. One dude, a needle in a haystack.
One dude, and a needle in a haystack.
That guy there, I had built the year prior. Just an armature, PVC pipe, and burlap monster mud.
Love the hands.
Yeah.
Yes. I found some cool skeleton gloves at the Halloween store, and there's a fog chiller behind him, another one in a trash can, and it pipes into the cauldron there.
Nice.
Oh shoot! Hey, Darren, give us that look again. Give us that look again. We was like, did you have help? No one helping me.
Oh, hey,
Megan,
what is the drink word?
I'm not sure.
Nate never said it's his fault.
I know, Nate. It's all your fault, man. So, Darren, this is your other prop you have to your left again?
What's that? I'm sorry?
This is your prop that you have to your left here? And your
Yes. That is him there. That was one of the first paper maches I did, doing paper mache and making paper mache clay that I learned from Scott Stoll at Stoloween. And just got at it. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I watched some of his stuff and I said, okay, here we go. And I think his head's a Dr. Pepper bottle inside, and yeah.
Megan Larson would like to know, what are your plans for any plans for future expansion?
Expansion wise, I'm gonna stay in the yard there. Maybe go around the back side of the house if my wife lets me.
But you're doing a walkthrough, right?
Yeah, this next year I want to go into the saloon so where you can actually go inside and get scared. 2020, I have a complete new idea, and this will get completely scratched. And that one will be more of a walkthrough and use more technology and have it more of a sequenced show where I send a group in and I run a sequence. So every room they're in runs a special program.
Oh yeah, you'll whip that up in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, real quick, I'm sure.
That picture there shows the Atmos Effects ghost that was flying around in the mine shaft.
That's
Was
cool.
it back to
What's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Sean Boswell would like to know, how do you weatherproof your props each year?
Just like a
California.
I'm in California.
Can you see the trees, man?
I'm in California, yes. So that helps. But I do just like a spar urethane over, like the paper mache props. It's it gets dry locked. It gets painted with latex paint, and then it gets spar urethane over it. So it's locked in. Like that. The green guy you're seeing there, he's been out there for a few years, and
he's solid, eh?
He's fine. He's all good. That there's one of the only store-bought props I end up doing is skeletons. The painting in the background there was done by my uncle back when he was in high school. And I had it, so I was like, it works. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
If you see that pipe kind of running above the painting there, I had a fog machine running through that pipe, and it went up in the roof, so it looked like I had a potbelly stove in there, and it looked like it was smoking out of the chimney on the top.
Awesome. Did you use a webcaster for all the cobwebs there? Or?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Yep. There's a picture later and I'll tell a cool little story about the webcaster gun.
Awesome. All right, we'll move back over to Therese and Hugh. Give me 1 second. I'm getting there.
Well,
I know. I'm back. Here we go.
That's Claire. That's our nun.
I think I went one too far.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, she did her own makeup, so pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. This is in the chapel. This was the first room this year. Yeah. Last year it was the exit, so that's just some good scare footage from one of our photographers.
Yeah, excellent photographer.
Oh, you got photography.
Connor. Yeah.
We do have a few. Yeah,
must be the Canadian thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of photographers, yeah.
The photographer his name is Connor. He's an actor in our haunt as well. He's in costume when he takes all these scare photos.
So they don't even.
So they don't really pay attention to him because he's our historian.
There's another Scarrett badge right there.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. $20, Daryl, photographer badge.
Julian Griffin would like to know, is your haunt aimed towards adults?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not suitable for kids. Nothing.
But they come through.
We would never turn people away. I'm not going to tell you how to parent, but it is not for children. Not even at all.
Nice. My kind of hunt.
Yeah. Well, there's people that have yard displays down the street for children. Like there's stuff for kids, small kids all over. So it's for teenagers, 15, 14 and up, really. Yeah.
Your neighbor looks pretty close there. They ever complain?
No, they're great.
They love it.
So that goes all the way around the back, or is it just the front?
This year we changed it up so you go in through the back. We have a big green space behind us, so we actually took advantage of that, and they could line up out in the back, which was perfect because now we could make our queue line 5, 6 people wide, and have our queue line actors entertain them, and then they go through and come out the front, which was always the issue because there's traffic and so on. So it worked out very, very well. Yeah. I don't know why we didn't think of that sooner.
I did that one year, and it totally killed my grass, and my wife wouldn't let me do it anymore, and it killed it to dirt. It didn't come back.
But this is city grass.
This is city grass. This is it's community space behind. It's already trashed. So.
Right. She's like, no more. I'm like, okay.
And on the other side, it's the pathway, so we don't have a neighbor directly on the other side. So we're very fortunate that the one neighbor right there, that house, they love it. They're really great about it.
Christopher Pressey would like to know, how many patrons do you get each season?
This year about 5,000.
Wow.
What?
Holy
5,000. Just under 5,000.
Next year.
Oh my gosh.
In 4 nights.
4 nights. Wow. Holy shit.
How do you deal with parking and things?
Oh God.
Oh, don't even go there.
We have a school really close to us, actually, that's close to that green space that's behind us. So people were parking there. People were, I mean, they had to walk 2 and 3 blocks.
The only complaints we had on the community webpage was people parking in front of other people's driveways
and blocking access.
Stupid stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was busy.
So this picture is the Victorian alley looking back towards the full moon, which I arranged. Thank you very much.
Boss.
Nice.
This is the pub.
Yeah.
Yay! The pub.
The pub.
The pub.
You guys all drinking there after the haunt's over? Just like
well, that was the plan, but it got too cold.
And then it snowed.
Nobody wanted. I was in there by myself. All by myself.
I bet you tried it though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
God, yeah. Have to.
I'd be playing darts right there with that dartboard.
Yep. Darts.
It was a huge room too.
Pinochle.
Really big. Yeah.
Awesome.
That was a new set this year.
Brand new.
Was that you guys carved all the bricks, or was that just like vacuum form?
I carved them all out of sandstone all by myself.
Wow.
No.
With a blindfold?
Yeah, with a blindfold. No. We broke down, we bought hard panels.
And then we made a stencil.
And then we
So
made a stencil.
some of it
panels.
some of it is stencil and some of it is hard panel.
Some of it's just my blood, sweat, and tears.
Phil was like, "Did you? Wow."
Yeah, a big slab of granite. That's how we did the top of the bar.
I'm gullible, okay? Don't.
So there's the bar. That's just another angle from the other side.
Crandall McKee would like to know which room was the most challenging to create.
Probably the alley, I guess.
Yeah, the alley was.
We changed up every room. Probably the
year,
alley was the biggest.
Because it was a big time suck. The height of it.
2 stories.
2 stories and getting the lighting and stuff in there and sound. Yeah, that was the challenge.
So what did you have, like platforms and ladders, or what did you have to get like actors up on the 2nd level?
The deck.
Our deck.
We built one side was deck, and then we just had people standing on the deck.
Oh.
Yeah, worked out.
So on the one side, the opposite side was the challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting it supported and making sure it was safe.
Well, wind and snow load and all that.
Yeah, because it's totally enclosed.
That's our infinity tunnel.
That was at the end of the alley.
Oh,
a lot of people walked into
it. A lot of people bumped into that. It was a full 6-foot infinity tunnel.
I gotta say, your sandstone work there on those walls, man.
So, did you use like a real glass, or is that like?
No, it's real glass.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we didn't want people breaking it. So.
Yeah, and a lot of people walked into it, like full on walked into it.
Ooh. Yikes.
Yeah.
So, lots of talk about your TV series. What prompted the decision?
Oh, well,
just kind of.
It's just part of the just taking advantage of the social media and just the culture of it. And we have a lot of interest around here, and developed a book and a comic, and it just sort of seemed the next progression of it. So, yeah. It's a lot of work, but we don't do that part of the work. That's done by Preston, our other partner, and it's just taking that whole culture and the media of it and going with something to, I don't know, just develop that mythos of the Rutherford Manor haunt characters, because there's a lot of character development in it.
Nice. Very
nice. All right. We'll go over to Laurence and Shaune. Talk a little bit about this photo here. which is that all vine work, or is that part of the carving?
The which?
No, it's
No,
not vine work. It's burlap.
Oh, it's burlap, yeah, on a tombstone.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just a facade beside there, and then a reaper beside him. That was in the graveyard.
Wow. Damn.
And that was carved by Grant McDonald as well.
Damn, he gave you a lot of stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, we went over this last time. Did you make anything? You know what? We made a lot of stuff this year. We took a little bit of heat last year.
Yes, we did make a lot of stuff this year.
Yeah.
Bob.
Being the next photo. Yeah.
That's in the Mercantile there. That's right at the front entrance when you first walk in before they get jumped on by my wife.
Yeah, and we got all that paneling for free. It was all beat up. It looks so good.
Yeah. Somebody was redoing their basement, so we just picked it up.
Man, I gotta find this free stuff. I'm missing it all.
Oh.
I do love the lighting though.
Honestly, that's one thing that I'm actually pretty proud of. A lot of the stuff we build with is all repurposed, and someone else mentioned, getting stuff from Goodwill and whatever, and then repurposing into something that's really cool for your hunt.
Yeah.
We didn't, believe it or not, we didn't spend a lot of money. We, took the time to find stuff for free and reuse it, and it's not getting thrown in a landfill.
Yeah.
Haunters are excellent at repurposing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And this picture here is just going around the corner in the Mercantile. So that's actually the front of my house. So that's like an upper kind of veranda or whatever we have up there. So we redid the railing, and that's just a tapestry in the back, and we just built a bookcase around the tapestry so it looks like books, like a library. So that worked out really, really well.
Shaune, go ahead. Go ahead. Shaune Boswell would like to know what was your favorite scene that you ever built?
I like this one. This Mercantile was pretty cool, and I liked the market we had last year. Walking through the market was really cool last year.
You change it up every year, you mean, or?
Yeah, we have the same. Like we're developing a storyline, so we try to stick to that, but different scenes for sure.
Oh, I love all these bottles in this
they
picture.
were awesome.
Those were every one of those ones, and that one was an Alfredo jar. My son, he likes Alfredo sauce. Every one of those was Alfredo sauce.
That is funny. And who did the distressing on them?
I did all those ones there. Shaune did that one there with the skull on the head there. But those are all ones I've had for a couple of years.
One of my nice.
Yeah, that one there.
Where did you guys get the labels for all these?
I just printed them off the internet.
Oh, nice.
Do you distress that wood yourself, or is that from
that was an
wood you're finding and it's already looks that way?
It just looks that way.
It looks that way. Like I said, that was.
Yes.
I don't remember where we got that.
A couple different places.
Couple different places. You see ads on Facebook Marketplace for, come get it, take it off my yard. It's yours.
Yeah.
They don't want to take it to the dump. So.
And that white fence board actually is on the ceiling in my basement as well. Looks pretty cool.
Nice.
That's the way you do it.
And that right there, that's in the village of lost kids we had there. That's one of the shacks, and that's an animatronic, but she was just sitting there because she didn't work.
Damn it!
Did they actually walk up into the shack there? Or?
Well, they could, yeah, but I wouldn't want anybody doing it.
We didn't encourage it.
Yeah. Half the time, well, not even half the time, about a third of the time, we had kids in there.
Yeah, kid actors.
Kid actors were in there, but like I said, they got cold and they bailed. So, I mean, the concept was awesome, and there's, you could hear giggling when you walk through there, and the lighting was really good, but we just couldn't get the kids to stay.
No spirit badges for them.
No. And grounded.
Yeah, you're grounded.
Shaune Boswell would like to know, have you ever thought about going pro, or do you just enjoy the yard hunt?
I just enjoy the yard hunt. It's more fun that way. No pressure. You do what you want.
Sure.
And going pro, you got to get licenses and insurance and
yeah,
a lot more hassle, and it takes away from the fun and the creativity, right?
I think we can go a lot further. Like we've been doing it 4 years now, so we can go a lot further with the home hunt. That's my wife there, the one that plays the witch. She played another character for some promotional stuff we did.
Man, what an awesome picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool picture. And that facade, that's the blood bank for Vladimir Dracul. He had a blood bank. So we made that. We carved that out of foam, put the windows in.
Built the door out of very thin aluminum. I worked at a place that had a water jet table, so we cut all the pieces and built the door with the knocker on it and everything. That was actually a fun project.
That was
all the windows are old windows from my house, repurposed. And then carved the foam.
That's awesome.
Debbie Wright would like to know, where do you get your costumes?
That one we rented, but my mom makes all of our other costumes.
Really?
Yeah.
That picture's the garden. And I kind of took that one on. I really wanted to make a place where you walk in, you're just enclosed by like claustrophobic immediately with vines and branches, and because it's actually a very small space that you have to walk down, and just loaded it with snakes, and then the lighting was important, down lighting with some lighting from the top to create all those weird shadows and stuff. But it was a lot of fun to create that whole area. We had water running in this, on the left side there, it's actually a working fountain, and we had red water to look like blood, and you could hear the sounds of the trickling water and everything. It was pretty good.
Yeah, and this garden was right off of the Mercantile, this garden.
You come out of the Mercantile into her garden.
That is cool.
So was all that the garden stuff like stuff from the yard, or was it like, is this all fake? Is it?
Oh, the leaves?
Yeah, all the leaves.
Those
I see
are
you
all,
had some flowers that you have
some
all.
of them are, but a lot of those are, I just got them off eBay from China. Just hung them up.
Vines.
The vines, yeah.
Some of them are some of the thinner branches cut down from some of my bushes, because you could bend them really easy. So we were able to create like arches over top, like I said, so people had to kind of go under and kind of duck their head a bit. It made it feel you're really being encroached on. I find that's really creepy and effective.
It is. It is.
All right, Cara.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Little Zero.
Oh, Zero, yeah. The project you take on the day of Halloween before the kids are coming, the bright idea. I need to make this. I need to start it right now. They're only going to be here in 4 hours.
Oh.
So I had a projector from Atmos Effects that projected the faces onto the pumpkins. Well, our kids get really nosy, and I didn't want them to knock it over. So I built Zero's house, and it's just like, an open square, and to cover it up, and it worked perfectly. But yeah, I think start to finish, it was about 4 or 5 hours from carving, hard coating, painting to done.
All right, now you're just making us all feel bad.
See, I'm not the only one. She does
over there like Darren.
I am very fast and very focused.
In a month too.
I'd be impressed if I could do this in 4 days, not 4 hours.
Exactly.
I can do that in 3 days.
And it's really tall too. Like, it's hard to tell scale, but that thing's probably 5 foot tall.
Oh, good grief.
Christopher Presley had a question. Do you draw out your designs first, or do you just create as you go?
I'm a winger. Like, I just start. Like, I have a basic idea in my head, and then it's just like, just get the materials out, because it evolves while you're building. So what it looks like at the end is nothing what it looked like at the beginning. So why waste the time drawing? Just get started.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. Did you carve that turkey vulture back there?
The turkey vulture? Oh, that's from Michael's. I didn't make it. I was weak and I bought it done.
Well, look at the mushrooms.
Yeah, what about the
mushrooms? I made those for a production of Snow White for the local high school, and I told them, the drama teacher, you're not keeping these. I want them back. So, because I did it all for free.
They look nothing like that.
Bob Kowal has a question. You work in so many mediums. What is your favorite?
Foam, by far. Once I discovered foam, I feel like I really branched into what I was meant to do, because it's such an easy material to work with, and it's so lightweight. Like, I can build a 12-foot tree and carry it all by myself, and I look like Hercules, I do. I really like it because I can just make anything my mind can come up with.
Just the detail in this door is like the grain work. Ugh.
Right. Yeah, I can get more detail, I find, in the pink foam versus the white foam because it's more dense. So I prefer that foam. But unfortunately, I cannot get that local around here because it's an insulation foam. They don't sell it in the central coast of California. So to get this, I had to rent a U-Haul, drive 12 hours down south, load it floor to ceiling with foam, and drive all the way back.
No, that is dedication right there.
It is. Yeah.
Right.
But man, that stuff is like gold.
That's some money right there.
Rob Beach wants to know, what do you use to glue your foam together with?
If I'm not using great stuff, I use that when I'm in a rush, which I'm always in a rush. But if not that, I use Styro Goo by Hotwire Foam Factory. That stuff is really good.
It works well.
Oh, here's the cap you were talking about.
My roof cap, that's my baby. So my whole haunted house facade was all made just so I can make that roof cap.
Wow.
Like I've always loved them, and then I put the cat in the front, and it's hard to tell scale, but it's about 5-6 feet tall it's a 7-foot square, so it's my largest piece that I have to store because it does not break down into panels. That's like one large unit, so that's what's in my shop, and that's what got damaged in the wind storm. So one of those windows, the gray part, got pushed all the way in, but it's in one solid piece. So I can technically just glue it back together. Like it didn't break it. So like the wind gods were helping me out.
So that cat, do you have to like put multiple pieces of foam together to make a big enough block, or do you find foam that thick?
It's only like maybe 4 or 6 inches wide, so it's just a few pieces of scrap I had, and then I glued it together and then cut a basic shape, and then everything, it's all coated with the exterior foam coat by Hardwire Foam Factory.
You make it all sound so easy. Oh.
Yeah.
Julian Griffin would like to know if there's specific paint to use, a special paint.
If I'm not using spray paint, because I like speed, like these pumpkins we're looking at right here, those were all spray painted directly over styroplast, which is like a 2-part. It's kind of like a coating that hardens like plastic. That's why it gets such a sleek look. And that's what makes it look so realistic. It's because the smoothness that it gets. So on those, that's just rattle can, but everything else is just exterior, like Home Depot paint, and I just buy it cheap.
And how long does it take you to make one pumpkin?
Oh, not too bad, but like, okay, so one sheet of 4x8, 2-inch thick foam can make one pumpkin. So I like to make them really big. So they're 24 to 36 inches wide. So I draw as many circles as I can get on that sheet, and then I glue them together, and then I just start carving from there.
Do you use the pink foam for this, or do you use the white foam?
That's all white EPS foam.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and then the stems, there's wire in there that I twist, and then I used a product called Easy Carve by Polygem, and I just wrap it around it and sculpt it to the shape that I want, and then just spray paint it. Because I like things really whimsical and like a lot of motion in my pieces. So, yeah, that product worked really good to get those long stems, to get them real twisty.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Very nice.
I think I made 6 of them last year. Yeah. Yes, they are so cute. So I made those pumpkins just so I can project those faces. It was so cute. And I love that because all the little kids really liked it, and all the parents lined up in the front of the driveway would just stop in front of that and video it. And we had a lot of families that would take pictures in back of it, in front of the tree with the mushrooms. So I'm noticing families really want to do like photo ops in my yard. So this year I'm going to be creating a whole scene just for that.
Awesome. That's what I was just going to ask. Do you allow people in your yard, or was it this year was just kind of
This year we got about 300 kids, but yeah, everyone wants to go through the yard and take photos, especially in front of the big, I call the spooky tree. So yeah, I have to be very cautious of where my cords are because I have so many cords running around. That's my black cat we made a couple years ago, and it only got displayed like once, and it's so heavy. It was before I discovered foam, so it's all plywood. So it's just been sitting in my shop. So I posted it on Hunter's Hangout and I sold it.
Oh, nice.
I can recreate it out of foam.
A lot later, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of reminds me of the, I think it was a Midsummer Scream logo.
Yes, they contacted me and they wanted to buy it. I said, sorry, it's already sold, but I can make you another one.
Yeah.
Aaron Casa has a question about the tree behind you that's made out of foam, and how long did it take you? Was it a huge project? Oh, there it is.
So
right?
This is Spooky Tree 2.0. So my first tree was really terrible. And my first year trying Halloween. And then this was my second tree. So this was the second year I attempted Halloween. And how long did he take? Well, I've messed up a lot. I've done a lot of things wrong and learned what coatings do not stick to what products. Like, you do not want to put exterior, any kind of foam coat on top of great stuff because it will crack. Everything I've ever done because of expansion, contraction in the sun causes it, to shrink or grow, expand. And so I'd get huge crack lines on my projects. So I've learned you cannot put any kind of foam coating on great stuff. It has to go straight onto white EPS foam or the purple stuff. You cannot have any movement in your foam underneath.
Very interesting.
So what would you recommend for it? Do you just paint the great stuff? That's the best.
Right, yeah. Either just straight paint it, don't coat it, or I have a theory if you use the Styroplast by Hot Wire Foam Factory, because that hardens into a non-really crackable shell because it's plastic-like. I think that would hold up, but I've just had so many projects ruined because of the expansion and contraction that I really would not risk it again. So right now, I just carve straight out of the white foam.
Nice. Very cool. And how tall would you say this tree is?
That's about 12 feet.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's getting recycled this year because I didn't know what I was doing when I built him. So he's got like these octagons of wood framing on the inside because I built this by myself. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have help. And then I like stapled like window screening around it to like create a net. And then I just started drawing with hot stuff. Well, $300 later in hot stuff cans, it just like created this tree, but it was very, really bumpy. And then it was so big, it was left outside year round. So I'm like staring at this guy, like out my kitchen window all year. And the sun, it just starts eating at it and it starts deteriorating. So last year, I carved them down, all of the dry spots that were crumbly, and got it down just to like the bare foam, I guess you could say. And then I took exterior foam coat and put a coat on them just to like spruce them up. Well, that does not like that foam. So he's got huge cracks all over. So I've really learned my lesson that you have to be careful what you put that stuff on because it just doesn't like that product. So this year, right now, this guy, I took a Sawzall to him today and I cut him in half. So now he's just the front half. I want to save his face because it's just such the perfect face. I don't know if I can recreate it so perfectly because it's all great stuff. So it just puffed up in just the perfect whimsical shape. I don't want to have to try fake that. So I'm going to reincarnate him into a new tree this year that's lighter weight because he was so heavy with so many coatings and foam and wood and this and that trying to fix him that I need to just start over.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, he's gonna be cool. I want him more bendy. I like things to have movement and a sense of motion and texture. So I want him to get like real twisty and kind of bend over. And then under where his branch is, I want to hang a sign that says Poppy Hollow. And I'm going to repurpose my Snow White sign I made for that school. I'll cut out the center that says Snow White, and I'm going to put Poppy Hollow in the middle, and I'll hang that from the tree and then light it. So then that creates like a photo booth spot for everyone to take their photos, and they'll be like, oh, you took your photo at Poppy Hollow, and everyone will know what it is.
Yeah, I really like that name.
It's cute. It's whimsical. All you guys are like all dark and mysterious, and I'm over here like Disney princess.
Yeah.
They're not dark.
All right. Well, we got our last round of pictures to get through here, so we'll start back off with Darren. Darren, I think one of your actors here is drinking on the job. I don't know what's going on.
Yes, sir. That was a prop I did for this theme. I was like, I gotta have the drinking skeleton like at Disneyland and the Pirates of the Caribbean. So took a plastic skeleton from Home Depot and rigged him up with a fountain, and he's drinking an endless bottle I wish I had, and it, you know, from what you're looking at right now, you were back about 2 or 3 feet from, because they had that walkway that you weren't allowed to be in, so you were still able to see him. This picture's a little closer than you were actually looking, but you heard all the water flowing, and you could see it in the picture. You can't see it, but you see it running down his chest. It was fun.
That's very cool.
That's in the jail. Just wanted to show the little details of, I was doing a trash out at a house, throwing a bunch of stuff away, and came across some old books and glasses, and that's a tobacco can jar. That's the Haunters. We love trash because it works for us. So
very true.
Yeah.
And you can see a little bit of texture on that wall.
Yeah,
the gel there. I did it was a flex bond, and I rolled it on with it's a tile adhesive. Rolled it on with a roller, so it was pretty thin but thick enough to where I could trowel it and give it a texture of plaster.
Plaster. Yeah.
So it didn't make my wall panels heavy because it wasn't so thick, but it still gave it that texture. If you walked up and touched it, you're like, dang, that's a plastic building, or a plaster building. So
that looks great. That looks really good.
Disney music in the background.
I love those spider webs.
Thank you. I was saying earlier, that's all Webcaster. And when I first got the gun, I learned from people you put like a fishing line out so it has something to grab to, and I didn't like the look of it, so I played with it and learned how to use the gun. And I had a lady come by. She drove by and asked how I did my webbing, and I told her it was a Webcaster gun, and she said, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "I bought that gun and I took it back because I thought it was broken. And I got another one and I just realized it doesn't do what it's supposed to do." So I told her, I'll come on back. I'll show you how to use the gun. And it's almost an art form to use that gun to get it to do what it can do. That picture there is more of a brand new spider web that a spider just did. It's all nice and thick, and then you can make it look like it's 100 years old too.
That looks like tent caterpillar quality.
The what?
Tent caterpillars, they freak me out.
Yeah, exactly. But that's all Webcaster gun. There's nothing in there.
Really good.
Now, how long will that last once you build that?
How does that?
It lasts a long time. A really long time.
Christine Campbell asked you that does the wind kill the webcasts? I mean, or the webs themselves? Do they?
A little bit, depending on how thin you have it. That picture there was so thick that it doesn't even move. When you get it to looking like it's really old and real spread out, the wind will take it a little bit, but it stays. It doesn't go.
Yeah. And do you dust those with any kind of powder or anything to enhance them?
None.
Just as is. Hey?
That's webcaster gun, and I don't use the webcaster sticks. I use a Gorilla Glue, glue sticks.
Okay.
They're a little bit thicker.
Is it with the air compressor too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. They're really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jerry Barb has a question. Do you dress up for the haunt yourself?
I didn't this year. Next year that I'm gonna add scare actors to it, I will, because I like scaring people. It's fun. Yeah. I kind of stepped back this year and watched people enjoy what I built, because when you're in there working and scaring people, it's over, and then you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
It's done, and I didn't get to talk to anybody. I didn't get to see their reactions to what I built. So this year I was like, no. I want to stand back, talk to people, and see the reactions. But yeah, I want to go back to scaring people. It's fun.
Scaring people is not fun at all. So no one.
That's just that's a daytime shot of everything. So without the lighting, it still had some of the colors on the buildings. So people drove by in the daytime, it still looked fun and cool.
And that's your front yard.
Yes. My house is behind that. If down in that corner there goes to my front porch.
Wow.
Jordan Gallows has a question. Who makes your signs? And if you do, what do you use? Do you make them yourself?
I make all my signs. I know a lot of old school haunters do a projection and then paint on it. I have a vinyl cutter, so I cut out all my graphics, not as a sticker, but as a stencil.
Yeah.
So I can cut them all out. I lay them on. It is hard to do on old wood because your sticker doesn't want to stick to it.
Old wood again.
But then, yeah, paint it and peel it off.
Did you have a lot of visitors during the daytime, or? Well, I'm sure you were working, but
I had a few. A couple of people came by. Their kids wanted to go inside and see it, but because even when I didn't have it open, I'd still have lights on every night because I'm working on it and stuff, and they're scared of it. So they would go through in the daytime, see that there's nobody in there scaring them. So then they were more. They wanted to go through at night because they knew what it was during the day.
Yeah.
Here's a story or prop, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That is what you're seeing right now is the entire front of my house. The entire haunt is all packed up into that spot right there.
That's a shit ton of haunt stuff, man.
Yep. And it's, my like even my wife said, wow, where are you going to put all this stuff when you're done? And I said, watch, I'll show you. It'll pack up real nice and tight, and it won't take up too much of the yard. And nobody believed me. So
it's good to see the skeleton still pounding the back. So.
Yeah, he's still pounding it. He's drinking all year round.
Yeah.
And you can see the big Reaper guys there. You can see the insides of them there. I didn't have the screen in, so you can see it's all PVC pipe and monster mud burlap.
Wow.
Very cool.
Monster mud.
Awesome. Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Amazing haunt. All right. We're going to go over to Therese and Hugh. Therese.
That's some idiot in the pub.
That would be Hugh. Yeah. He did a little cameo in there as that character. Just
couple of them, yeah.
a couple nights, and he'd sit there with his Moscow Mule mug and drink.
He's probably drinking real beer too, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Single malt typically, but yeah, why not? That's a perfect opportunity, right?
Right, you're behind the bar.
I'm just filling a need, right?
But again, we made everything in there. We made pretty much. It's all made from spindles from a reuse it center. Like it's all repurposed things. Yeah. We paid very little to make that pump.
Shots fired.
That's the Ghostbusters guy. Spirit box. The spirit box.
Here's the lab.
Is that you, Hugh?
No.
No.
That's the spirit box, I think.
I know what that is, but anyway, this is the lab, and that girl worked. She was on the gurney. Her name is Marin, and her first year actually acting in her haunt, and she did a great job. She was super creepy, and the lab actually is going to be expanded for 2019. It's going to be our entire garage.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's going to be a hospital sort of thing, but it's with a lot of drapery. But anyway, it was a good room. If you watch the video, it's funny. You'll see footage of there's a fridge in the one end of it. You know, the first night it had one arm in it, and by the Halloween night it was stuffed full. It's just the progression, right? You just sort of dig stuff up. Okay, throw it in the fridge.
That was the last room we
got
together.
That looks like your garage all year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Julian Griffin would like to know, do you use pneumatics?
Yeah. That's my background. So
yeah,
they're very subtle.
This looks like an old gaming or like a game thing, whatever.
No, we built that. We call it the Big Awesome.
Which one?
2. This one.
This part right here.
Oh yeah, that's just like
an arcade game.
Yeah.
Like where the claw, what do they call them? The big claws, like where grabs.
Yeah, we had a geyser in the bottom that pumped out fog
and yeah. It's just like it's frosty cryogenic kind of chamber is what it's meant to be, or sort of. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is the jail. This was leading up to the 2-story alley, and we had a couple of small kids in there. We don't get too many child actors, but there was 2 kids in there that were the distraction for the actor, and they did a great job. But it was a very good scare because everyone was focused on the kids, and
that's our use of pallets.
Yeah,
I love the backlighting of that though.
Yeah,
the pallets. It's awesome.
We had a lot of fog going in that area as well. So,
Debbie Wright, go ahead. Debbie Wright would like to know, have your actors had any training, and who does your makeup?
Yes, some of the actors have had training. Some have not. We do kind of put on an impromptu sort of training session with them as well. We have meetings that go pretty much from spring until September.
And we have professional makeup artists as well.
And we do, a lot of them do their own, and I do a lot of it. So
nice.
we have 30 actors, sometimes 35.
I do my own makeup. That's me. Well, it's not me. It's my doppelganger, but it's my costume.
Do you have a lot of the same actors every year?
Yes, we do now. Yeah. Which is great. So, less training, obviously. So it's good. And their characters tend to be kind of static. So that's nice. So you spend less on costuming. That's why we developed a lot of the backstory, to keep the costuming and consistent. You save money over time.
For sure.
Yeah, and this is just another angle, different side of the market. That's a deer.
No, that's something we caught in the bush.
The scroll actually was found hunting.
Yeah, we found it
with the antlers intact.
We cut off the legs and arms, but yeah.
Probably frozen. It's probably frozen, right?
It was frozen. Yeah, I couldn't haul it back on my skidoo, so.
We got the dog team out. This is also part of the pub, and we always have Easter eggs in our haunt, and there's a lot in this area. So it's all, yeah. And it's there's many different logos on there. Some of it's hidden from the bearskin, which is a real bearskin rug. And
I shot that myself.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did you?
We got it at Value Village, but so that's where my
Value Village is where we go to shoot stuff.
Yeah, that's how I recognize all my favorite haunters and haunt forums and Haunters Hangout. It's all plastered all over that thing.
Very nice. All right. Well, thank you guys. We're going to move on to Laurence and Shaune. Go over the last little bits of your photos. Maybe have this one already, I think. Or was this a different angle? This is a different photo. This is a different photo. So this is the same huts that you had?
Yeah.
Very cool. And is this your fence right here that's blocking everything in?
You're the only one seeing it.
Yeah. We still see you. Epic fail.
So, my bad.
Yeah, that's the fence between my neighbor and my house there.
I love this other shack right here.
Rob Beach had a question.
That's my daughter Olivia.
Are your guests guided through the haunt, or do they just walk on their own?
Oh, they just walk on their own. Okay. We try and time it. Once they get through the first scene, then we let somebody else in. So that's my daughter there. She was this year she was a vampire. So I don't know, some of you might remember a couple of years ago she was a little girl that she was dragged by the witch in our video, and she walked through the carnival that the witch had. So that's her this year.
Man, you're a lucky man.
Yeah, my whole family, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
they're troopers. I dress them all up and make them do crazy stuff, and they just follow along.
Haunt couple.
Yeah, and that's a Reaper. That's in the right beside that. Beside that is the archway that you walk through to get into the kid village, and that's a facade there.
I love
the graveyard.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's about 14 feet tall, I think, something like that.
That's our front facade where everybody entered from. So that's Morganta's Mercantile there, and then we had Van Helsing's shop on the side, and inside the window you could see there was a table set up. We had a vampire kid on the table, and all things like it was a full, small, but it was a full office of his. And then that's the blood bank on the side that we made there.
So
the video is awesome.
Right?
Sorry?
Go ahead, you.
The video is awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the video worked out pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jordan Gallows would like to know, where do you get your inspiration?
Just old school. Yeah, well, all over old school Halloween. I like traditional things. I'm not big on newer stuff like Saw and that kind of stuff. I stick to the traditional stuff. And that's just
and Pinterest.
And Pinterest, yeah.
And Pinterest.
Yeah.
Have you already started planning your 2019 haunt design? Sean Boswell would like to know.
Yeah, we got some pretty good ideas so far. We're gonna have to start planning a little more, but
we were already talking about next ideas while we're building the 2018.
Yeah. We can't do it this year, but let's do that next year.
Let's do that next year, yeah.
So this is the separation wall when you first enter the Mercantile to go around the corner by the bookcases up there on the top. The upstairs library there. So this is just a divider wall, and that's the end of the wall when you come around the corner. So a lot of kids were getting scared when they see that skeleton right there.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's pretty fucking badass.
Great.
And that's one of the tables in the Mercantile there. And that's a book that I made from paper mache. Just on the cover there, that's for our haunt.
Yeah, and the girl in the cage is animatronic, and it scares quite a few people.
Yeah, and she gets annoying, and when you know she's going off all the time, she gets a little annoying. But the kids were uncomfortable seeing a kid in a cage for sure.
Oh, I love this little witch's circle thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I like that witch's circle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Hawaiian thing, and it's like a circle of friends or whatever. So I just used some clay that Therese gave me actually, and I made some hats, and then just painted it black.
Put a candle in the middle. It was one of my favorites this year.
Yeah, it flickered.
Turned out so good.
Yeah, it flickered really well too.
Julie, go ahead. Julie and Griffin would like to know, what kind of music do you play?
In here we had just ambient sounds, and on the outside we had because it was a London street, so we had like horse-drawn buggies and people walking by. You could hear footsteps, and
then we had one of his son's friends came over and was in costume playing a violin.
Yeah, he was fiddling. It was really cool.
Yeah,
cool.
It worked out really well.
You got to see the video. The video's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And then in the kids' village, there was some kind of creepy
little giggling
kid songs, Ring Around the Rosie, but in really creepy voices and stuff. So
yeah, and a lot of giggling.
We did try to make each area like have appropriate sounds. We didn't want to just have one blanket sound.
Yeah.
It does definitely add to the authenticity, I guess.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
And this is just a witch shack facade we had in the back. You had to go through the front door to get up to the alley when you go through past Sweeney Todd's shop.
And there was a good scare just inside there. An actor could come running down that. That's actually a long hallway where those chairs are.
Yeah, and it's really dark.
So they go through where those lights are, and then the actor can come creeping up that hallway, and got a lot of good scares there.
What do you guys use for lighting? I might have missed that question if it was asked, but
I'm sorry?
What do you guys use for lighting?
We had a lot of fire and ice lights and some floodlights.
So no LEDs or anything like that?
Oh yeah, we have some LEDs
we have
too.
some LEDs.
Yeah, for sure. And this is in when you first go in the door. This is the front of the mercantile. So when you first walk in, this is what you see. This is your first vision of the haunt.
Jenny Gilroy would like to know, how long did it take you to break down your haunt?
Oh, it was cold too. And it was a mess, and snow, and this year was it took
almost to December where we got.
Yeah, I still have some stuff that's outside because it got buried and I just can't get to it.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the actors have a tendency to disappear when it comes to cleanup.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't say. I've never heard of that happening at a haunt.
No. Everybody gets out of Dodge quick.
Yeah.
Well, we make them sign up when they come to our meetings. I told them, I said, we'll never do another haunt if you don't stick around for teardown. So we had help this year, and it made a difference.
Yep.
I think if we did that, we wouldn't have any actors next year.
Yeah. Well, they're all,
most of our teenagers, our family and kids. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We're going to move over to Cara, and we'll show the last photos you have.
Go, Cara.
Can't take them nowhere.
Yeah, so that's just in my yard with that. I only have 3 tombstones. So what I've learned from observing is I need a lot more. So that is my goal for this year, is to make a bunch of more tombstones. Yeah.
It won't take you that long. Don't worry.
I already know what I'm going to do. It's going to be really
She
cool.
done whipped them up in an hour.
But they're all really large. I don't make smaller tombstones. They're all 5 feet or bigger.
We have a lot of large ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
Jacuzzi dealers get it for free.
It's a good tip. Yeah, that is, I think that's Halloween before people, start showing up. That's kind of just how it kind of looked. Nothing's finished, but luckily, thank goodness for dark and good lighting, it still looks cool.
Yeah.
So that's a projection or something in the middle there?
Yeah. So I made that window just so that I could project scenes from Atmos FX to the back. So that whole facade is actually screwed into our roof, which my husband was super stoked about. Yeah, so the projector is on the roof of the house projecting out onto the fabric that you get from the same company. Yeah, it looks super awesome. And then we had Bluetooth speakers out front by the street so that you could hear all the sound of what was going on. And it was super cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did your neighbors think?
Oh, they love it. Like when I started 3 years ago and put out my first spooky trees that were totally terrible, we had neighbors come running down the street like, oh my God, you love Halloween? We love Halloween. And that's how we met our neighbors. And we had already lived there 10 years and we had not met them until Halloween.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
And now we're like the best of friends and I help him make stuff for his yard and we dream about if our houses were connected, how awesome it would be if our yards were together and what we would do. But he's like 4 houses down, so it's super sad.
Wow. I love the car, by the way.
I was getting ready to say that. I said, look at that
Wait,
car.
is that our Oldsmobile? Yeah, my husband collects classic cars. So yeah, that Oldsmobile has gone to Lowe's and has been stacked full of foam on top. Boy, the looks that I get is crazy.
Have you been able to convince your husband to maybe buy a hearse?
Yeah, that would probably not go very well.
Okay, sorry.
If it was a classic car, like a 1950s one, maybe.
Yeah,
well, there it is. There
you go. There's an angle on everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a Snow White set that I made for a local high school. They saw me in the newspaper and they're like, hey, we're doing Snow White. Could we hire you? And I'm like, what's your budget? And they said $500. And then I laughed. And then I told them that won't even buy you foam. And so somehow they managed to raise $1,500. So I said, okay, well, I can use that to buy material, but I'm just going to have to build this for free because, you know, and so I did. So I spent 3 months building 2 22-foot wide sets of foam that these kids could put up and take down on their own for free because I wanted the experience. And that's what gave me the confidence to then build my own facade for my house.
Oh,
that's a good way.
So yeah, they got to keep this except for the Snow White sign and the mushrooms. I told them those were mine, but they also have a life-size wishing well that I spent a week on. And yeah, they've got it. I'm sure I could get it back whenever I want. I'm pretty tight with the drama teacher now.
No, we know her by first name. We're already there.
But yeah, this is the facade during the day. You can see how unfinished it is. So everything that's kind of purpley is just a raw insulation foam. So this year I will have to carve it all out and coat it so that it looks like the terracotta shingles that are like on the roof cap. So that's my goal to get done by next year.
Is that a full-size guy standing there?
That's a cute.
Full-size guy. I don't know. I can't see it on my screen, but it could be my kid.
It looks like a little boy.
It could be my kid. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't start out with the intention of it being this big. I started in February of last year with the front door. I just knew I wanted my front door to have a spider web pattern in it. I started with that and then I just built out and up and then it just turned into this monstrosity that just took over my life.
Just the detail, like Jamie was saying, the cat up top, and then you have this this bat, I want to say, with the skull on the bottom. That's just
yeah. So I love Art Nouveau style, and I saw this European face with this bat over the top that was carved over in Europe out of stone, and I was just like, oh, I have to have this. So I made this giant window just so that I could project through it. And it started off just like one of the foam faces you get at Michael's, and then I just started laying the Polygem Easy Carve over the top and just turned it into that bat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is a close-up of the Snow White set, so you can kind of see all of the like the woodwork and everything behind that makes it look like an old cottage. And that all broke down into panels so that the kids could move them.
That's crazy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Really good work.
Oh, so I built all this in my driveway. So all my neighbors were always stopping, like, what are you doing now? And then I'd go and pick up my kids down the street, covered in like sanding dust and foam. And everyone thought I was homeless until they like realized what I was building. And then finally the parents started to respect me, because before they like, just like, oh, this girl needs to go. But then once I built it in my driveway and they saw what I was doing, like it all made sense to them now. So now when I show up covered in stuff, I don't feel bad anymore.
Sure.
Got some credibility now.
Yeah, but that was super fun. Like I was able to carve all of those stones out of with the industrial hot knife with the sled, and so I like just bent it with a little like V in it. So then I just followed my lines, and it just cut a perfect like grout line pattern out. And I was able to bust those panels out like in like half an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
It's all in the right tools. I swear by tools. Like I don't care how much it costs. Just give me the tools.
And no mess. Very little mess.
Yeah, we use that to make our stencil. Actually, the notch tool, the wire.
Yeah.
Stencil, so we could do all those panels and brickwork otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, thank you, Cara. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
So, I just wanted to say thank you guys for coming on tonight. You all have amazing haunts. You make me question what I do in haunting.
What do you do, Phil?
I work at a pro haunt, right? No. So thank you guys for coming on. We want to say thank you to our sponsors also. Be sure to reach out to any of our sponsors for any of your haunt needs. And also for our panel here, make sure you go back and answer any of the questions that were asked during the night. I'm sure there's a lot of them, and it's probably going to take you maybe a day or so to get to them all, but you'll get to them. So with all that being said, we have some prizes to give away. I also want to give one more shout out. Thank you to my co-hosts. Great job, guys. It was awesome. But Jamie, pass it over to you.
Okay, well, I'm getting ready to butcher some names, and I apologize. But you're getting free stuff, so there's that.
Butcher away.
Okay. Now, if I call your name tonight, please be sure to contact Diablo tonight, or at least by tomorrow. Give him your name, your address, and your email address so he can get these prizes out to you. But the first one for the night is the mask from Face Factory FX, and that goes to Rob Beach.
Woo-hoo!
The Fright Props Fright Light Pro goes to Bob Bowie. Yay! The SFX Library from Sinful Audio goes to Corinne Singer. The ornament from Hornaments goes to Jennifer Smith. Yay! 1 gallon of fog from Froggy's Fog goes to Bob Cowell. Yay!
Way to go, Bob!
The 7 badges from Scarrett Badges goes to Mike Ross.
Hey, Bob.
And don't forget, everybody watching tonight gets 50% off from Sam Haynes if you use the code HAUNTER, so be sure to take advantage of that. Yay! All right, Alex R. Antosh gets 1 realistic-looking skull from Nightmare Makers. Woo! The $25 gift certificate from XFX Makeup goes to Charles Weston. The 1 pair of free lenses from Exotic Lenses goes to Kelly Gregor. This awesome mask from Missing Finger Productions goes to Cindy Wortman.
There's still more? Oh
There's still more. The 4 coasters and a $10 off gift card from Haunt Labs goes to Linda Marshall. And last but certainly not least, the $25 gift card from Hotwire Foam Factory, which I think we all want now after all these amazing tombstones. Also goes to Cindy Wortman.
Oh, she won twice?
Yeah, you can win twice. You just never know. So keep those questions coming.
Oh, good Lord.
Very nice.
All right, guys. Well, that's the end of our episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The haunts were amazing. These guys are like, they're up here. We're down here. We're still trying. We want to get to that level. So, but they were totally amazing. And make sure that you give me all your info by the end of tomorrow. And XFS makeup still, we're waiting on the codes for that. So if you guys had won that before, don't worry, we're going to get to you. We're just waiting on the codes for that. And I want to thank our MC Phil, and we want to thank Jamie for doing the prizes, and we want Kathy for doing a fantastic job on the questions. And we want to thank all the guests for coming on and sharing all their projects with us. And stay tuned next week. We have another round of amazing guests, and that's it.
Good night.